Hello and welcome. We are
the Sisters of the Holy Fiber. This is episode 16, I believe. And my name is Devin, also known as Rambunctious Sky.
And I'm Heather, also known as Tiny Kiwi. So, grab your knitting or crochet or tatting or metalsmithing, whatever you're working on, and join us while we craft and chat.
Welcome. If you are a new viewer, listener, we are happy you are here, and welcome back to anybody who's been along for the ride before. What are you working on this week?
I have made significant progress on my thing that was supposed to be a scarf, but I am taking your suggestion and turning it into a cowl.
Sweet.
And so I talked with Tracy about it, and she's like, I should make it into an infinity cowl, because that way, because one side has the darker color dominant, and the other has the lighter dominant because of the way that the stitches are, and because of my tension, too. So if I do it infinity, then I get both kind of color schemes going on, so I'm kind of excited about that.
I like that.
It's much more manageable. It's like having a light at the end of the tunnel, so I'll actually probably get this project finished instead of putting it away again. So, and now that it's time, I can turn it in for detention for this month for our Harry Potter Knit Crochet House Cup. So, and I haven't turned in any detention last term, so I'm going to be excited to get some whips done this term.
Awesome.
Yay! Because I did not get an owl done by the first, and if you listen to our other podcasts, I decided if I didn't get a plan going by the first, it wasn't going to happen, and I'm not going to do a big project, or at least not a 3-month project in this next 3 months. I'm going to focus on smaller stuff and on cranking through some of my whips, because I looked at my whips bag, and it's kind of large and embarrassing, so it's time to get some of this done. Yeah. And the other thing I started, I told you I was working out of the 75 Floral Blocks to Crochet by Betty Barnden.
Yes.
So I decided to start easier, and I started the Granny Rose Triangle. Let me show you what it's supposed to look like. Mm-hmm. So doable. It's kind of just a triangular granny square, but you just use the color changes to make it look flowery.
Right.
So I've got 8. Let me hold that in camera.
Ooh, pretty.
I can manage.
Your colors are better than hers.
Huh?
Your color choices are better than hers.
Oh, thank you. It's just scrap yarn. That's what I ended up with. I would rather use wool, because I think the stitches come out nicer, and I think all of her samples are probably wool. The stitch definition just looks a lot better than the acrylic that I've got here. But it's okay. And I'm learning to make squares, and, well, I guess it's really a triangle more than a square. Learning stuff that I wasn't doing before. So I think that's better to start off with the easy ones. So my general goal is to work through some more of the easy squares in this book, and then work up to a few intermediate ones, and then try to tackle a few of the advanced ones. Because when I try to do the advanced ones before I know what I'm doing, I just kind of pull my hair out. And they don't look the way that I want them to. So.
Yes.
So that's my general plan. So that's probably going to be the staple of my homework for the next 3 months, is squares out of this book. And not just squares, hexagons. Yeah. She's got all sorts of sizes, all shapes and sizes.
I think that's a good plan.
Yeah, so...
Are you going to, sew them together into some kind of...
I haven't really decided. Because they're all floral, if I use, maybe the same yarn or something, it would at least look like it all belongs together. But some of the flowers and shapes in this book are so wildly varying that I don't know if they would really look good together, even if I could make them go together. Like with sort of, I could always freeform, whatever spaces need to be filled in.
Right.
But I don't know if it would look good. So I'm probably just going to make those squares and then throw them all together on the bed and see if I like it.
You could also make pillows, put 4 or 5 together that look good.
And she had, I think it was this book. Let me flip around to the back. But she had an idea for, you know how you usually just make a blanket or whatever out of the squares. There was a purse that used them that looked kind of cute. Actually, I guess it's not this book. I could have sworn it was this book. I guess not.
Oh, well.
Anyway. You just for this kind of stuff, I find that Ravelry really helps because it gets, you know, you can see how other people have put things together and made things out of the granny squares, and you can decide whether or not you like it together.
Yeah.
In whatever way they've done. She's got some examples here of ideas of layout and stuff, you know? Like, she says to photocopy them and lay them out and see if you like it, that kind of thing, before you make 50 of them. So, good advice. We'll see. I just like them because they're small and I can, put them in my purse and focus on them and get them done quick.
Yeah.
And that way, you know, I can get 6 classes worth of homework done or 6 small projects, 6 squares done.
Yeah.
And I get points for that. It's less than an owl, but...
But hey, that's 6 classes.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never done all 6.
Yeah. And I still have the opportunity to do an order mission, because those aren't due yet. So I could think about doing that. I could actually try to...
That's a really good idea.
Do the order mission that I didn't succeed at last term. I didn't even touch it last term, because the shawl ended up taking all my energy. So maybe this would be a better idea to do, because last term she approved me for the hat and some socks. So I might be able to swing that and, you know, as a proposal again, and actually get that hat done. Because I really want to finish that. I want to get started on that hat. I haven't even cast on for that hat. And that would be a good motivation. And then I would feel like I have a little bit of leeway, too, if it takes me longer than a month. Because I've never done that cast on before. I've not worked in the round on, like, 2 needles. So, well, 2 circulars. So it's like a lot of new skill sets for me. So I don't know. I'm still pondering that. But ultimately, I'm really happy to be working on whips and stuff right now.
Yeah.
And to get some of those cranked out and worked
That's really
on.
good.
Yeah. So I think I really made the right choice.
Good.
Or at least didn't decide on a big project fast enough. But look at all the progress now that I have to show for.
Exactly, you know. You've made really good progress on that. Which wouldn't have happened, you know, if you had been pulling your hair out trying to put an owl together.
Yep.
Like I might have been.
Yeah. But that's all that I'm actively working on. And I haven't done any more tatting or anything. I've really just been working on this shell project and reading. You have to help me stay focused, though. I really have got to finish those tracery mitts for Tracy. They're just not a project I want to work on right now.
You gotta work on them.
Huh?
Get them done.
Yeah, I know. And I'm so close to finished with the one of them. I really need to.
Yeah. I mean, it just would not take that much. But I think it's like, you gotta put that part of your brain that doesn't, like, floats aside, you know? You just gotta, like, quiet it down so you can keep going.
I think that's true.
So
100% true.
Yeah.
So,
well,
I just gotta steel myself, gird your loins, and go into battle with floats.
There we go.
Yeah. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
But that's my only, like, current whips right now. It's just those 2. Once I look at the homework prompts, though, I'll have a better idea of whether or not these, the squares from this book will fit in, or if I'll have other ideas of things I want to do. Because I have other small, like, crafts and stuff that I want to do. Cowls, wrist warmers, things like that. So, so that's probably what I'll be doing these next 3 months. It's just all these small things. And then, I'm hoping I can get, and I'm pretty sure I should be able to get, one of my, long-term whips done per each month. So, this guy, he's been in my whips bag for a long time, so I want to get this guy done. So that'll be for this month. And then I'm really hoping I can get in that giant pink scarf monstrosity that I've had since, I don't even know, 2010, 2009, maybe something else like that done. So that's my goal. 3 of my really, like, whips that I've had for way too long.
Right.
embarrassingly long. Get those done.
Yes.
So, in the next 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a pretty good long-term goal. How about you? I know you were working on a washcloth last week.
No, I'm not.
Now you're not?
It's not worked on anymore. I'm not currently working on it. It'll be in another segment.
Okay.
So, I just cast on for my blanket.
Yay!
I, wound up...
What pattern is this?
This is the organic yarn that I got from, for sale from Ravelry.
Oh, yeah.
And, the person said, I just typed in, in the search that I was looking for a yarn and, 3,000 yards, and it was bulky and gray, and, this is one of the things that came up. The yarn, each skein is, a little bit different, so what I'm going to do is knit, pretty much I'm going to knit, a bunch of scarves. So, a strip, and then I will sew the strips together, and it's going to be, a sampler blanket of strips.
Okay.
So that's my idea, and each strip will be one of the skeins of yarn. Okay. So it'll be and then I can arrange them so that it kind of goes from lighter to darker. Mm-hmm. They aren't terribly different, but they're different enough that I couldn't just do one pattern. It would bother me.
Right.
Because they're different enough. So that's my plan, and I just cast on. So the needles are I think these are size 10. Yeah, but they might be a little bit too big, but it looks like it might be okay. So I'm gonna keep going for that, and I'm using this is one of my favorite stitch dictionaries. It's a Japanese one. I have no idea what it says, but you might be able to. It's like Stitches 300 or something like that. Knitting Patterns Book 300.
300 patterns.
Yeah. And I have been very inspired by this book, but I actually haven't used the patterns for much, So this will be fun to just kind of go through so my plan is to use this book for the patterns for the blanket.
Okay.
I have only looked at one class so far for our Harry Potter thing, and that's Care of Magical Creatures, and it looks like so much fun. So the prompt is that you go to class, and then you're suddenly port-keyed into the middle of the Forbidden Forest, and you're camping out in the Forbidden Forest, and we have to take care of this magical creature that's hurt. So they found some tracks or something. So we have to, you have to trap it, befriend it so it's nice to you, and fix its foot. So that's the, whatever your knitting thing is, it has to do one of those things, ensnare, heal, or befriend it.
Okay.
And if you get into a group, and your group, so you work together to, turn in your projects, then you get bonus points, right? Mm-hmm. So I figured I could easily find something in here. For mine is the to soothe it, I think. I can't remember if I'm soothing or healing. I don't remember, but I'll figure it out. But I figured if I did something that kind of looked plant-like, then I could, write my way into that. So
okay,
that's my idea for that. The other thing, I haven't actually cast on for it, but I did knit the swatch, is for my Even Star shawl.
Okay.
Here's the swatch. I knit, the bottom is the first yarn, and then the top is the second yarn. If you can see that.
Yeah. Right in the middle. Wait. There you go. Good. Yeah. What do you think of the swatch so far?
I like it. I love this yarn.
Okay.
It's so soft.
How are you feeling about the variegation? Because I know it looks like more than we anticipated it would be when we first ordered it.
Yes. Yes, it is. And this is how I thought it would be, judging from the pictures and when I called. Yes. So, anyway, I'm just going to make it. And the other thing is, what I did is I looked at other people's even stars, and there are shawls that have this amount, like when you get this close, you can see the variegation, but then when you look at the entire shawl, it looks fine.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah.
And if it's nice to work with, that's a even more incentive to stick with it.
Yes. And really, my only problem with variegated yarn like this is that it kind of takes away from the lace knitting, so it makes the lace knitting a little harder to see.
Right.
But it's still beautiful. So.
Yeah. And it's a nice pattern to begin with, too.
Yeah. And I'm going to have so much fun with it. I like hard lace like this, and I'm going to have so much fun. So I also, I think it was last night, had Thai iced tea for dinner. So then I couldn't go to sleep. And then I was like, hey, it's only half an hour till midnight. I could just stay up and post my owl proposal.
And so you did. That's awesome.
Everybody else's owl proposal is like an essay, and I'm just like, poor owl examiners. I would like to make Evenstar. It's ancient ruins, because holy bananas are their charts. And I'm going to be needing it for my wedding shawl, and I've only ever made one other circular shawl, and it was not this crazy charts. And that's why it's going to be challenging. Here's a picture. Yay! So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I can never decide whether, like, the examiners like a lot of extraneous information or don't. Like, are they going to go crazy if I write an essay, or do they really want an essay so that they know what's going on and know whether or not it's truly appropriate for you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just can't tell if they're being too polite.
Right. And I think that, there's just a good mix. So, some people like to do the essays and some people don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually start off proposals like, 5 pages of backstory. Then I turn it in and it's like a paragraph. Like, I'm over it. Yeah, I'm usually just really glad to turn something in.
Oh, and that yarn is the unique sheep in their EOS, which is a 50 silk, 50 merino.
Well, what was the colorway?
Winter Wonderland. And I could tell when I opened it up, because the skeins themselves, like, half of it is one color, and half of it is slightly lighter. So that's going to give you, variegation. But,
yeah.
C'est la vie. But the colors, it's so beautiful. Like, the colors are really nice.
Yeah.
So, because I was thinking, like, well, I could go to the yarn store and I could get some lace weight in a solid color. And then I remembered, and then I was thinking about, well, what colors are usually at the yarn store? Not this color.
Right.
So, I'm just going to do it.
I think you should. And if you don't like it, no one says you have to, keep it.
Yeah, and I'm just proposing the owl. I can get halfway through it and go, you know what? I don't really like this. And bind off. And say, oh well, and start something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Or focus on the blanket.
Right.
So, I'm just gonna go for it. They took forever to wind into balls.
I believe it. Lace weight.
Yeah, so that was fun. I got through 5 episodes of House or something. So.
Wow.
But that's for another segment. Anyway, do you have any more whips currently?
No. No whips.
I have an FO!
Yay!
It's so little.
I'm glad one of us does. I
finished a washcloth.
Yay!
Again,
hey,
I don't remember.
An FO is an FO. Don't knock it.
Oh, yay, I have an FO. I don't remember what yarn this is, but it's kind of scratchy. And what's fun is that because it's this dark purple, it bleeds like bananas. I don't know why bananas bleed, but...
I was gonna say, I don't think bananas bleed, but Whatever.
Episode title.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We never seem to have a shortage of appropriate things to title our episodes.
Oh no, not us. Not the Tangential Sisters.
No, we really don't.
And I had a little bit extra, so I made a little... we don't have anything in our kitchen to hang this off of, but I can hang it from something.
I use, what do you call them? Clothespins to hang them off of things. And, I use, twist ties and clothespins together.
Nice.
And then when I do things like that, I think, I am Grandpa's grandkid.
Grandpa's daughter, that's what I was thinking.
Because Grandpa totally did stuff like that, like, all the time. Little washers and wing nuts to hold the world together.
Indeed they do.
Yeah. Ugh, I don't know, sorry, I'm just looking at this and going, my attention is all over the place with this thing. That's a problem with setting something down for so long.
Do you have any brainy moments for this week?
I do not. I still intend to do one on very basic tatting.
Right.
But I haven't set it up.
Okay.
So.
I don't really have anything either, other than, it's the same one as before, as, like, swatches are important, because this one, yes. Like, I don't really feel like I would have been able to make a good decision if this is one, in the pattern, this is her swatch chart, and so I did 2 repeats of it. And I see so many swatches for the Even Star that's only 1 repeat. Right. And if you do 2 repeats, then you get 3 more full leaves to look at, right, to see if you like it or not. Because if you only do the 1, you only end up with 1 full leaf. So,
and that's not necessarily enough to decide whether you like it if you're undecided about whether or not you're going to be. And that's a big project to be, if you're not going to like it, you're going to get halfway through that thing and then be pulling your hair out.
Right. And, like, halfway through, it'll still be pretty, so...
Yeah, well,
like it, but...
Still make, like, a tablecloth at halfway through. That thing is gigantic.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Yeah. You're crazy, but have fun.
Yeah, well, and people propose this for their newt.
Yeah. I was a little worried about
I need to get it in at the first. So.
And it does seem like it's going to take a long time, but at least you've got a goal of getting it done in 3 months. If it doesn't get done, it doesn't get done, but...
And I stop working June 19th, right? School gets out.
Right.
So I'll have more time, and I can, like, power through if I need to. So, that's my plan.
If it seems like it's doable. If it doesn't, then you'll probably just have to be like, yeah, okay, it's going to take an extra month.
So, we'll see.
Yeah.
And I'm not beading the edge, because... I don't know. Me and little beads around just doesn't sound like a good idea.
Yeah, you either kind of are a beading person or you're not. I like beads on shawls in certain instances, but I don't want to fidget with them to make them. So, like, if someone made me a shawl with beads on it, I would wear it. For me to actually make that is a different story.
Yeah. I think that at some point I would like to bead a shawl, but I don't think this is a good one to start on.
Yeah.
Since I've never done it before. I mean, people have done that. They're like, this is my first beaded shawl. I'm just like, okay.
You've got craziness.
Well, yeah, well, that's what Slytherins are for.
Yes. We dream big in Slytherin.
Yes.
And we help you to dream big, too.
Yay. Okay. Let's see if
They're so supportive, though. Even if you don't, if you start panicking about getting something done, they're like, your life is important, too. Your health is important. Giant projects that drive you insane, not as important as your health. Yeah. So that's kind of another thing that I like about Slytherin.
Yeah. Well, awesome. They do that in Ravenclaw, too.
Yeah, I'm sure all the people in the Cup are super duper nice. Yeah. Pretty much across the board.
Yes.
It's a lucky.
You should join. Okay.
You should join. So join us at the Harry Potter Knit Crochet House Cup on Ravelry.com.
Yes.
We'll
New terms have just started.
Yeah, I know. And you can play along. if you've played before, you play as a student on sabbatical right now. Or if you've never played before, you play as a not quite first year. And then you get to do all the fun things that we all get to do. There's nothing you can't do. The only thing you don't do is earn points that go towards winning the cup every term. So when we turn in a project, if we're in a house, the project earns points. And then those points are totaled at the end of 3 months, and whoever's group has got the biggest amount of points wins the cup for that term.
Wins the cup.
Cup. It's all fake stuff. It's all fake points.
It's fake points. It's a fake cup in a fake imaginary world, and we love it so much.
And we do, and we go like crazy for this, and we go crazy for fake points.
Fake points!
But you know what? You talk to anyone in the cup, and not only is everybody super nice, and everyone will agree to that, but it's really great for motivation.
Yes.
Like, I have never gotten so many projects done as after I joined the cup. So, and they're great, not only for motivation, but for, like, imagination, too. People are so helpful. They help you get through problems in your projects. It's a great place. Totally check it out. If you're on Ravelry. If you're not, why aren't you on Ravelry?
Why are you watching our podcast and not on Ravelry? Like, really?
I don't know. It's a mystery. I don't know. We're
You're
very
on the internet.
narrow-focused podcast here, you know. We have a very specific audience, one would think.
One would think.
Unless you just like seeing crazy girls ramble, in which case, ta-da! Welcome to our Crazy Girl podcast. Woohoo! Okay, so we totally tangented again. We were on brainy moments. No more brainy moments, right?
No, I'm done with that. Okay. Shiny, anything new this week?
I do!
Oh,
but
yay!
it's also books. So should it be in books or shiny?
Well, books is next, so why don't you just share... Oh, no, hyperventilate's next. Oh, just share it now.
Okay! Yay!
Yay!
So I'm totally not going to show everything because I went to the bookstore and you know how that happens. If you've ever watched any of my podcasts before, you'll know that I have a problem with books.
Hey, an enduring love affair.
I do. I love the books. Why don't you love me back? So, I'll just show you two. What was this one? Crochet Mania's handmade bags.
Uh-huh.
These are all Japanese books, by the way. So, this one shows how to make crochet bags, but you're using raffia and stuff. So it's like not yarn. Mm-hmm. So they're a little more heavy-duty purses. Let me find one that's a good example. I don't know if you'll be able to see this since it's kind of beige. Can you see that?
Yes, that's pretty.
So it has like sort of a lacy panel in the middle.
Is that crochet? Or
indeed it is.
Yeah, that's really pretty.
So let me find one with color so it's easier to see.
I love the lines in that bag. The
yeah.
diagonal. It's really nice.
So here's another one. This one uses kind of like a granny square, well, granny triangle at the top kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Like this little snowflake flowery motif.
Yeah.
Know if you can see it.
Yeah, I can.
So it's just triangles at the top and then, you know, regular...
It looks very similar to that one that you're working on right now.
Which one?
That triangle you showed me earlier.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I could probably use the exact same triangle that I'm working on, just in a different, you know, a different material.
Yep.
Because these are all meant to be a little harder wearing because they're not yarn, they're raffia, mostly. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes, they're not so frayy, which I think would help because then you don't really have to line it if you make it out of something stiffer. Mm-hmm. So, more like a beach bag kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Anyway, so the one that convinced me to buy this was that, you remember, if you've watched our podcast before, I made a phone cozy with the crocodile stitch. Mm-hmm. And I was going a little crazy trying to do crocodile stitch in the round with no pattern. So, I found this crocodile stitch in the round with a charted pattern, which I totally love charted patterns. So, I'm super glad.
Skippity-doo-dah.
So excited. I was like, okay, I'm just going to get just about one pattern. I'm totally not even going to lie. I was like, I drove myself so crazy trying to make up my own pattern, and here's one, and I don't even have to think about it. Woohoo! No problem. Okay. So, one more. This is hand and wrist and leg warmers.
Cool. Oh my god. Cray cray.
Yes. And this is crochet, madam. All of it's crochet except for one project. Let's see. I don't think it's on the front. No, it's not on the front. There's one project in this book, strangely enough, that's knit.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's knit get it in there, you know.
And with beads. So it's kind of... Oh, here we go. This is... Okay, not one project, but one page of projects. With... Instead of doing color changing, like the other ones in this book, you're just using beads to make the patterns instead. I just don't understand why they did one knit pattern in a book full of crochet patterns, but whatever floats your boat.
You know,
so,
whatever.
I really liked the instructions, though. It gives you good crochet instructions for how to make basically a buttonhole that you also can use as like a thumb gusset
Cool.
for making your thumb. Let me see if I can find another picture. Here we go. Where you crochet up and actually make the thumb catch.
Nice.
So that was pretty cool. I liked
Yeah.
the instructions for that, so that was another reason to get it. I don't know if I have the patience to do color changing crochet. Because, again, with this shell project, to weave in the colors nicely with your stitches takes more time. Because I'm crocheting over the other color so that I go back and forth like a typewriter. If you're old enough to have used a typewriter like me. So I don't know. I'm still thinking about whether or not I want to try one of those projects. But you know what? A 3-inch project sounds very doable. But then you have to make 2. So making 2 might be tedious. We'll see. But then there's also a couple projects that aren't just like barrel. They're crocheted cables.
Oh.
So let me see if you can see. I don't know if you'll be able to see.
Yeah.
The white one might be a little hard to see.
Yeah, but I see things like that. I'm like, why don't you just knit it?
I know, but you know what? Like, I like having a large skill set, and I've never done this kind of stitch because I've always been like, I'll just knit it. Well, whatever. I want to have this skill set too, so I'm going to learn how to do the, cables in crochet.
Cool.
So I'm definitely going to do one of the ones that's a crocheted cable. And, you know, a wrist warmer, or, you know, hand warmer or whatever you end up doing, they're small.
Right.
The largest projects they have are the leg warmers, which are pretty big. But let's see if you can see the cable on these ones.
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah, I can see it.
But they look fun. And Tracy's been doing some fun stuff with reversible crochet cables. So that it looks good on both sides, you know? Kind of like, what was her name that did reversible cables in the other book? And who did power cables? Is it Lily? I wonder if I have my book around. Who did power cables? I really love that book too, and now I can't remember who the author is for certain. Anyway, she did some reversible cables in power cables. I'll have to link to that when I remember whether or not it's Lily Chin. But I really like the concept of cables that look good on front and back, because I really like cables. So I'm kind of excited. But you gotta start with the basics. Non-reversible cables first. So more cable practice is in my future. Yay! I love cables. Although, honestly, it's been so hot, I'm not sure I want to be doing cable projects right now. Time for tatting. It's always like I have these great ideas, and then like summer rolls around, and I'm like, I don't even want to look at wool, much less touch it. Then I'm like, thread doilies sounds like a great time to me. So that's 2 of my new books, and I'll have to save more for later. Yay!
You can make reversible cables by knitting your cables in ribbing. And then they look the same.
Like magic.
I've done that before. It's fun.
How come I haven't seen this?
I don't know. Like, probably gave it away.
You're no use. Did you at least get a picture and put it on Ravelry? I've been, like, nagging everyone in my knitting circles to be, like, on Ravelry. People don't post pictures, and I'm, like, have a single woman crusade to have people post pictures on Ravelry. Post your pictures! Even if it's just one of the finished project, that's fine, you know? I really love process photos. If you want to show me your swatch, show me your yarn. I love that. That's very useful to me. Close-ups of the stitches, especially in a complicated part, like, oh, here's how I did the thumb gusset. Oh, thanks, because I was having so much trouble. I love it when people do that. I will just settle for one picture of a finished object in most cases. Or even a presence on Ravelry.
Oh, you mean you'll settle for other people to have that?
Yes.
Yes.
Because, yes. That is another good thing about the Harry Potter cup, is that they have gotten me so addicted to putting projects and my stash and stuff in Ravelry. Mm-hmm. I really, really love having access to that. So I feel like my part of that is inputting my own things in. Mm-hmm. So that keeps me motivated. And then when I lose the project and I have no idea what I made it with or something, you know, like, oh, I lost one mitten. It would be nice to make a replacement. I can remember what I made it in. That kind of fun. Or when someone's like, what is that pink scarf made out of? And I'm like, I've had it since 2010. I don't have a clue.
Yeah, and it was a multiple of different things, too. So.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to move along.
Yes, we're moving along.
Here we go. Hyperventilate.
Yes.
Oh, I don't have any shiny. Hyperventilate. What have you been geeking out about this week?
I totally started watching some of Jim Henson's Creature Shop, which is on the Sci-Fi channel. I refuse to say sci-fi if they have their silly name change. I'm sorry. Silliest name change. Sorry. End of geek moment.
They had a name change? Wait, I don't know about this. What happened?
Sci-fi is now no longer like science fiction. It's not spelled short for science fiction. It's SYFY. And I'm sorry, but that just reminds me of syphilis. I'm not happy. They're trying to be cool and hip. Whatever. Right. Just look silly. Anyway.
You're the science fiction channel. You are not going to be cool and hip.
Yeah, well, they try so hard.
Your turn.
Anyway, Jim Henson's Creature Shop. Totally loved it. So, I don't know if you have even heard of it, because I totally didn't until I went over to Tracy's house, because she's got, like, on-demand and cable and all that fun stuff. Mm-hmm. I have no idea. I don't do TV. Right. But she had it on while we were crafting, and it's so cool to watch these. It's prop makers. It's like a reality show, so I don't really care for a reality show. Like, and you are going to be the one who doesn't make it. And I'm like, I don't care. Turning the TV off. But watching them make entire, like, animatronic puppets in, like, 3 days is crazy. I'm like...
You just made an animatronic puppet.
You just sculpted a whole... yeah, I don't know. It blows my mind. I really love artists. Artists of the world, you're awesome. Stay cool. So I was totally enjoying watching that. You know, get to watch them putting the eyes in and making their own little eyelash things. I don't know. It's sorts of crazy stuff. You guys are crazy. So I was really geeking out on that. And then I saw an advertisement for a show called Heroes of Cosplay. Mm-hmm. We didn't watch that, but I'm kind of excited and see if I can find episodes of that somewhere. Because come on, cosplay, that's super fun. Yeah. It's like sewing taken to the next level. It's like combining, like, well... Depending on your costumes, it could be even architecture. Mm-hmm. Architecture, sewing, and sculpture. Right. All in one. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It's like all the arts come together, and then suddenly you've got a giant robot. Or whatever you're cosplaying as. Yeah. So I was kind of excited to see if I can find episodes of that. Mm-hmm. But I haven't actually watched that one. So cool. That's it. My geeking out at the moment. Although... some of it was geek anger at the Sci-Fi channel, so I don't know if I could call that a geek excitement. Oh, Sci-Fi channel, what are you thinking?
What were you thinking?
What are you thinking? I have no idea. Anyway. Do you have anything that you're hyperventilating over this week?
So for a long time, yes, I do. For a long time, House, the TV show, was not on Netflix. And I think it was because they were making money elsewhere. But now that the show is a little bit old, it's on Netflix. Yay! Yay! And I think one of the reasons that I like it is because it's kind of like a mystery. You know, it's kind of like a mystery show, but with medical stuff. Because I fast forward the parts where they do medical things. So I'm obviously not into, like, the medical, like, surgery and, like, needles and giant. No.
Okay. I fast forward to that part. Oh, yeah! Because I'm weird like that. Anatomy is cool on me.
No.
Don't know if you can hear the helicopter going over, sorry.
Yes. There it goes.
There it goes! Where are you going?
So, I've been watching that while, winding up balls of yarn and things like that, so.
Right.
Fun fact, I've been working on my little blanket swatch, and it's been raining on my pants. I have little fibers on my pants.
TMI.
Because it's like, definitely this is from sheep.
Oh.
You know, there's fibers and there's little bits of grass.
Fibers.
Little bits of grass and things in here.
Oh, no.
Yeah, anyway, that's all I've been hyperventilating about. Books. I've been reading.
Yeah?
Not that much, but I did get like 3 pages into this book.
Okay.
This is a novel by Umberto Eco, who is a linguist, who also writes novels. And this is called The Name of the Rose. It has been made into a movie with Sean Connery. And I've seen like the first 5 minutes of that movie. I believe I didn't see the rest of it, but I don't remember. But this is supposed to be a really good book. I've heard really good things about it. And we'll see, if I can make my way through it. Because, as a linguist... Oh, and he's Italian, so he wrote it in Italian. So this is a translation, and, translations.
Yeah.
Not quite the same thing. But I'm excited about that. And I made it to the library, and I checked out only one book. One book, people. That never happens. So, I did good.
When that happens is usually when I owe fines. Yeah.
I owe $1.
I never owe fines. I always return my books on time.
I know. How is that happen? Like, we're so librarian. I always owe fines. Anyway. You have anything else for books, or did you share all your books?
I do. I actually started reading Orphan Train by, let me find now that I have the book with me, Christina Baker Klein. Mm-hmm. It is a novel, it says right on the front. So, I'm about halfway through now. It's a really quick read. And it is about orphans on a train for half the book. So...
There's that.
There's that. And obviously, this is probably like early 1900s, right before and during the stock market crash. Mm-hmm. So her life as an orphan has not been so great so far. And then the other parallel companion story is a girl who's she's supposed to be doing community service, and it's the only thing that's keeping her from going to juvenile hall. Mm-hmm. And that part of the story so far is feeling a little, I wouldn't say forced, but just very trite. Like, I've heard this before. It doesn't feel new. Mm-hmm. And the story of the orphan is just kind of sad. Yeah. So far, not getting a very great rating. It's kind of at a thumbs in the middle so far. And
so far, it's just kind of sad making.
Yeah. The women in our group really do love to pick sad books. Books about sad people is really what our book club should be called. I just need to... Next time it's my turn to pick a book, I need to make sure I pick a few that are, like, happy endings galore. There was one of them, I can't remember what was the name of it was now. But it was just so tragic about this kid being raised by people and then having to be taken away from the only parents they've ever known. And, you know, just like the sob. And it's just like, why am I reading this? But I like it because it gets me out of my comfort zone. I read stuff with them that I wouldn't pick up otherwise.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
And I would never have picked this book up if it wasn't them. So at least I'm trying it.
It's good. Getting yourself out, yeah. Like out of your comfort zone.
And that's the only way to find new genres and authors and stuff is to try stuff that you wouldn't think to try.
Yep.
So, but that's what I'm cranking through.
Cool.
That's it for books. Next.
Is I Spy.
Oh, okay. There were a couple of fledgling mockingbirds right behind our house, just sitting on the fence, watching me.
Oh.
So I was peeping at them, and then there was an adult mockingbird on one of our phone poles who was busy tweetering a song, and so I tweeted back at him and got him all flustered, and he started doing his little hop flies he shows his little wing flashes. And I was like, haha, you're so cute. But I was just like, what are the little fledgling mockingbirds doing? They're just sitting there, looking at me, being fluffy.
What you doing?
I know. And they weren't, like, freaked out at all. Like, one of them just kind of settled down and fluffed out his feathers and got comfy. So, yeah, that's pretty much... Let's see, what else did I see? I saw Phoebe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's it for this week. I really haven't seen much again. It was so hot on the day that I went to work in the historic garden that I pretty much only did a few hours of work before I was like, I can't keep working in this heat. I didn't come prepared, like... I didn't have a big old bottle of water. I wasn't in shorts. I was like, yeah, next week is going to be different, but I can't do any more today, so...
Right.
Which also ties into this week's Walks in the Urban Wilderness.
I Spy, I haven't seen anything, so you can go into walks.
Oh. Yeah, I haven't done anything. It's been too hot. It's been crazy. I am wilting like a flower.
A delicate flower.
Yeah, I barely got in that half day, so... I've been trying to think about how to expand my routine, though, so I'm still thinking about that. Because I need to incorporate some extra, like, exercises in. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking about going back to some of my old yoga routine. I don't know if I'll do that yet. I'm still thinking about it. And it's too hot to do anything but wilt, so that's all I'm doing.
I've been good with either walking or biking to work.
Uh-huh.
I really wanted to try and get 3 in this week.
Yeah, I remember your goal last week.
But it didn't happen, and I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow.
Okay.
So, oh well. But I did, I walked twice, so.
That's still good.
Yeah. Last Saturday... I have a friend who's a little bit, like, more, she's, like, into exercise and stuff. Uh-huh. So she drove her car, like, 13 miles down the road, and then she ran back. And then I met her in town and rode my bike out while she was running back. And
sounds crazy.
Yeah, because she's a little cray-cray. And, well, you know, she's just a runner. That's what it is.
Right. Runners.
And I'm not.
But I repeat myself. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
So, she ran, and I was biking. But anyway, after that, and so, yeah, I got a 13-mile bike ride in, which was good. But then after that, like, because it was dry that day, and it was really windy.
Right.
And I wasn't sick, but my sinuses were not pleased.
Right.
So ever since then, you know, today, like, just right now, it's like the first time I felt normal in a while. And I still feel, like, a little bit in here. So.
Right.
And it is kind of new for me to recognize that about myself, because a lot of times, like, I would just keep going, you know, whatever.
Right.
But, kind of listening. And so, But I do like saying that I'm allergic to exercise because I think that's funny.
Yeah, I do the same thing. But it's usually when I'm, like, outdoors hiking and then I start having a sneezing fit because of my allergies. And I'm like, yeah, I'm allergic to hiking.
Yeah. So, it was just kind of a bummer because I don't feel like biking because of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I really feel like I want to be exercising, but it's so miserably hot that I don't want to move.
Yeah.
So unless I do them in a cold shower or something, who knows? That's not going to happen.
And I have to get up early.
Yeah.
And I don't like exercising before work because I pretty much exercise at work running around with children.
Right.
So there's that.
Yeah, you don't want to be worn out before your day even begins.
No. All right, but that's it for me. What about your party? What you been listening to?
I have two things. Let me look at my notes. The first guy is Pavel Josef Vijvanovsky. I don't know. It's Czech, sorry. Vijvanovsky. Yeah, that's my best guess. So he's the first Czech composer of Baroque instrumental music.
Oh.
So I thought you might find him interesting.
Yes.
And he lived from 1633 to 1693, or thereabouts. You know, the dates are always a little wonky when you go back far enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was listening to him because I was looking up famous Czech people in history, and his name came up. It's kind of one of those random Googles that you end up with. I would have never heard of him if I hadn't been specifically looking for famous Czechs. So that's my classical, I guess, selection. And then the other one I was listening to is Trespassers William, which is, their name is from the Winnie the Pooh book, if you've never read it. Piglet's house has a little sign out front that says Trespassers Will, and then the rest of the sign is missing. And he says that's his grandfather's name is Trespassers William. So, so it's just this, like, little cute piglet misunderstanding. Anyway, so that's what they named their band after. And they're this kind of indie rock, well, not even rock, they're more like indie pop, maybe? Indie dream pop? I don't know. They're kind of like Portishead, but not quite as lo-fi as Portishead. They're not together anymore. But I really like their stuff. They have, like, a few albums out. Like, I think maybe 3 albums? Anyway, I really like them. So I was listening to their stuff the other night.
I haven't listened to them in forever. I think I forgot that I have their music. I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, I was going through my iPod. I was like, oh, I love Trespassers William. And then, like, clicked in and, like, listened to the whole selection again. So they make good nighttime music because it's usually, like, slow melodic beats, and nothing too jarring. And her voice is very, wispy and ethereal kind of thing. So that's my other selection. What about you? What have you been listening to?
I've been listening to Brett Dennen. He's a singer-songwriter. This is mean. I'm just going to say that up front. He's not very good looking.
That is mean.
Not much to look at. I know it is. But I feel so bad saying it, but it's so true. Like, I'm just like, that voice came out of you?
This is getting colder and colder. You're so cold.
I know, but, it's late at night.
Get away from that, being a musician or a DJ. You don't have to be.
I get more honest as it gets later and later. My filters start going. So it's late at night when we're recording this, and my filters are gone. Anyway, he has several albums out now. And, I think it was just when he first started, because I have one of his first albums. And I don't even remember the name of the album, but it's the one with Desert Sunrise on it. And, I don't know, they're just really sweet. It's really sweet music. So,
what's the genre?
Singer-songwriter. Like, he's him and a guitar.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure you probably already said it and I just blanked it out. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Nope.
Okay.
That's
I can't believe that I have some classical music this time and you don't.
Well, you know, I mean, most of my classical music these days is, let's see,
The Usual Suspects.
Old King Glory of the mountain is so high, it nearly touches sky. Tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, follow me. Old King Glory, you know, like, that's my classical music these days.
Yeah, that's like music to go insane to, though. I think you need to have a little bit of adult classical music mixed in there.
Oh.
Something that makes you not go insane, perhaps.
Well, and, you know, part of it is that, like, that's why I listen to Brett Dennen, because it's different.
Right.
You know, it takes my brain different places. So.
Yeah, something different than the usual classroom music routine.
Yeah. And let me tell you, talking about going crazy, like, because it's a singing game, right? So we just sing it over and over while we're playing this game, and it helps the kids sing, and it helps the kids who don't like to sing not feel self-conscious about singing. And, like, I've played these games, and my boys who don't like to sing, because they're in 2nd grade and already think that they can't sing.
Right.
Which makes me so sad. Anyway.
It makes me mad.
Yeah. But they will sing with these games.
That's good.
I will go through the torture in my brain.
You're so funny. The things a teacher does for her students.
Yes. Anyway, so that was random. I think we just rolled right into random remnants, didn't we?
Yeah. We pretty much are.
Okay.
I've been there for a while, I think.
Oh, okay.
Just kind of accidentally, as usual.
I don't think I have anything special for random remnants.
No, I don't either. So we might be done.
Okay, well, I want to show you this before we go.
Okay.
Because it looks cool. And I'm excited. What?
Well, that's alright. I'll get my row done then. Okay. Of course, it's at the color change part where it starts driving me crazy and aggravating my OCD in ways that I can't always control.
Well, there's that.
You know, I really should have just never started this project.
But it's almost done. You can do it.
I know, and it's like I really like it. I like the way it looks. I just making it makes me a little bit insane. I don't know, just start trying to jab myself in the jugular with a crochet hook. See, like right now, I don't like where the yarn is. And then I undo the stitch about 50 times, and then...
Okay, here we go.
Whatever. Color changing on shells. I don't recommend it. Let's see. Oh, look at you getting some swatch done. Or is that going to be the beginning of panel?
I don't think it's wide enough, so it's just going to be a swatch. I'm trying to see if I like this center part. The edges here is a border, so what I might do is pick a different border so that it's wider. Because I think if I did 2 of these too wide, then the strip might be too wide.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, always, if your real thing is going to be too wide, make your swatch too wide. See if you like it. Better to do 2 inches of a swatch than 5 feet or something.
Swatching,
Yeah. Show me in your pattern book which one that is.
Oh, sure.
Or what number it is, at least, so I can look it up some other time. Although I don't think I have that one.
Here's the swatch.
Hold it still in the middle for me. Because you're gonna... Okay, there we go. Okay. I like it. Looks kind of like bird feathers, like... Well, I'm sure it was supposed to look like plants or something, but or maidenhair fern?
Yeah, see? And I thought I could use it, like, a bunch of different ways. Ferns or feathers or...
Right.
Yeah, so I could
hieroglyphics. Or you could use it for runes, because it looks kind of like one of the F for the rune F.
But I signed up to be on a team already.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that I will only get 1 class done. So.
That's alright. Are you going to
owling.
know if you're going to do anything for Quidditch?
I usually don't. Quidditch is so confusing to me. It's like so much to read. And I'm just like, I just read all this other stuff, and now I have classes to read, and now you want me to read more stuff? I don't know. And I think it's partly like the Ravenclaw lazy in me. We're just like, I'm gonna owl. Whatever.
Yeah. Advanced studies and forget the rest.
Yeah, that's kind of how Ravenclaw does it.
Yeah, I love you, but no. What really helped me was the dueling stars. Mm-hmm. That helped me figure out a lot of Quidditch. So I think there's doing that this term too. But in Slytherin House, our last Mamba from our nest was in charge of the dueling club. And you get stars for different challenges that you meet. Like, they'll post like, if you get a star if you post in the common room of Ravenclaw. You get a star if you finish your project on the 4th, or whatever it is. And then you rack up the stars, or you can also duel with other students. So a lot of people were doing, like private duels, like whoever can finish their whip first or whatever.
Right.
And then you get a star. Mm-hmm. You just have to agree into the thing. Anyway, so part of the challenges in the dueling club had to do with Quidditch, like, do this in the Quidditch thread, go do this in the Quidditch thread. And that really helped kind of demystify it a little bit, because I could just do that one part. I knew I got a star for it, and then I didn't have to worry about, like, whether or not I was meeting Quidditch requirements or something, because it was taking me through it step by step. And that helped a lot, because Quidditch is really kind of overwhelming, but you only have to do sections of it. Just do pieces of it. It's almost like the homework projects, but just different. They're just calling it something different.
Yeah. And I figure, that that's what it is, but I never turn in 6 classes anyway, so I'm just like, I'll just turn it in for a class, but I figured since I'm in Slytherin, and Slytherins are better at Quidditch, I'll try it.
Well, sometimes you get more points for turning something into Quidditch. Some of my nestmates were like, look, you can earn 40 points, which is way more than you're going to earn for any class. So take your homework thing that you were going to turn in for a class and turn it in for Quidditch instead. that kind of thing. And I earned some mega points that way. Mm-hmm. And remember the cowl I made? In fact, I wonder if I have it here. Sorry for the wrinkly bags. I do have it right here. Yay. So this was the 3-hour cowl that I made. I'm not sure if I showed this on the podcast or not. I think I did.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was a Quidditch project. And I totally rocked it. And it totally took more than 3 hours. But, I earned a whole mega truckload for making this one project and turning it in for Quidditch instead of turning it in for homework. So, 3 times the points or something. So, usually, the people that are actually doing Quidditch tell you, quick, you can make so many points. Go over to the Quidditch thing and do this and that. And then you just, do that and get points.
Yay!
Yay!
Well, yeah, if somebody helps me, then I can do it. But.
Yeah, it's much easier when you have someone who's very gung-ho for turning in stuff for Quidditch. Makes things make more sense.
Yeah, and we have people come into our dorms and post this is what's going on in Quidditch, and I was just I still don't know what's going on in Quidditch.
Dueling stars. It's the motivation of extra invisible dueling stars.
All right.
It's like a sticker. You know how motivating stickers
I want all the stickers!
It's a gold star for you.
Gold star.
Anyway. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Like I said, I haven't even... Homework first, then detention, and then Quidditch. That's kind of how things are going to have to go.
Well, we're already over an hour.
Yep. All right.
So
we have yammered on long enough. So thanks for joining us.
What?
Oh, wait. Check us out at...
Oh, right. sistersoftheholyfiber.wordpress.com is where you can find our show notes and our other ramblings and links and things. And we also have a Ravelry group. So come in on over there and post in our ear party thread. And if you have any comments about our episodes, you can post them there.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye. Outtakes.
Okay.
I just got cheese on my glasses.
My son is very good. He eats nuts, climbs trees, Sometimes he's naughty and he jumps around the house at 3 o'clock in the morning like a crazy squirrel.